Hey there, and thank you all for returning. Welcome back to the channel, and this is Glorious Decor and More with Evangelist Grace. I'm Evangelist Grace. Upbefore we get too deep into this, and before I forget, will you please press the notification bell so that you can get all my uploads, and would you please watch this video from beginning to end? Please give it a thumbs up. Drop me a heart in the comments and comment. Interact with me. It helps YouTube to recommend my channel. It helps people to watch. It helps me to grow and therefore helps the ministry and gets us closer to monetization, okay? Now, today I am going to make what I call a ground beef casserole. Simple. Just food bank food items that I'm using. And I thank you all. I thank God for the food bank. I go when it's my turn to go, and they give us good things. And it helps my budget because this is a low income, fixed budget channel. So now let's get into the video, okay? Thank you. I'm going to pivot this camera on my stovetop, okay? Bear with me, you know I don't know how to navigate sometimes, most times. Is that better? You see my peach cobbler in the back? Yay. I'm turning my oven on. The small this is a glass top oven and small. I'm turning it on to let's do that to 3. And I've already oiled my pan. I've put 2 teaspoons of butter and a little bit of olive oil. And I am going to what we call sweat my veggies. I'm using a yellow onion. Okay? Let's see, can we turn it over here? I got to get a cutting board, but I'm using a saucer, okay? My hands are washed. My utensils are clean. The counter is clean. It is cluttered because I'm trying to do this video and cook. But I take this yellow, and that is not glued down yet. I'm, what do you call it? Refreshing my kitchen, trying to put some cabinet tops on these cabinets, and I got these from the Restore, Habitat for Humanity Restore. But anyway, we're going to cut, and maybe I should get a larger knife, and we're going to cut these yellow onions. And I use a whole large or medium onion for this casserole. You can use what you want, any type onion. I think yellow or white will do. But in any event, I am doing that and getting prepared for my casserole to let these onions sweat in my oil. Okay? Now, I just simply crumble them up in my fry pan. Can you see that? Crumbling them up in my fry pan. And yes, I do have gloves, but it's no one here but me, and I'm the only one that eats this. Maybe in the future I get a taster, but right now it's me. And of course, I love my cooking. I've been doing it for 60 plus years now. And my family is still alive. I was a single parent, so I guess, hey, it worked. I'm going to take the rest of this and just hand cut like I was shown when I was growing up. We didn't have a cutting board then either, but I'm getting started. I'm starting over. Love onions. You can use a half onion or as much as you want. I use a whole. And I have some sweet bell peppers, orange. I don't chopped finely. I kind of slice them because I love the vegetables and I love the hardiness of them. So this is what I do. You can chop yours up small if you want. I have a piece of yellow bell pepper, and I do it the same way. I'm going to turn my oven up to about 6. Now that I almost have these cut up, drop that one on the stove and I put it in there anyway. My stove is clean and there's no one here but me, so I'll do that. Okay, then I have red sweet bell pepper, and I put it in and I let it sweat. Also, okay, and then I have a piece of green bell pepper, and I will slice it up in here. I'm not dicing, I'm more like slicing. And I'm an old school cook. And I tend to do things the old school way. Okay? Now, I just take a little salt. A little ground black pepper. I take some, just a little red pepper to give it a kick. I take some minced garlic and pepper, blend it together. I take some garlic powder. I take some Creole seasoning. Take some onion powder. Okay. And I go in my jar and get a little basil and a little Italian seasoning. Okay? I use my wooden spoon and I blend it all together. Okay? And now finally I turn it on high and we're ready to get started. And in the meantime, I will get my non-stick spray, and I'm going to use 2 dishes. I'm going to use a muffin pan, and I'm going to spray each section. And I'm going to use a thrifted bread clear dish. I spray that, okay? You can't wait to taste that peach cobbler right back there in the back. And while that's finishing, I'm going to take my bowl and I'm going to take some Jiffy Corn Muffin mix, an entire box. This is also given to me by the school bank. Okay? And I'm going to prepare it according to the packet, but I'm going to use a can of Clover Valley cream corn. Now you can use any kind of cream corn brand that you want. I'm using items from the food bank. And I put that in. Oh, I don't waste anything. And scrape it out. Okay. I do use an egg. I'm using a large white egg. Large white egg. And it goes in with my corn and cornbread, cream corn and cornbread mixture. Take my wooden spoon and I blend it together. Okay? Now, I don't use but a tab of evaporated milk because the corn moistens the cornbread. But I do use just a tad of milk. Okay? Make it nice and creamy. Okay? Now, get back to my smoked vegetables. Now that goodness, they stuck a little, but the goodness is in the pan. Okay? Now, I take a pound and 16 ounces, 1 pound, of ground beef and pork blend. I can get pure ground beef, chuck, or whatever you want to use. I get what's on sale. I showed you this in my haul. And I brown it. Excuse me. If you're not sneezing, you're not seasoning. And then what the YouTube channels say, which I found to be true. And you brown your meat just until it turns colored. Now, you could put some Worcestershire sauce in here. I don't with this because I got so much more. But my secret ingredients, and I'll show that to you shortly. I'm going to take a towel and spread over my peach cobbler. Okay? You say I haven't drained it. Not yet. But it's browning. I like to wipe my stove down. Okay. See that? Looks good, doesn't it? Now those chefs and professional cooks, oh, I love what they do. But I am not professionally trained. I am Grandma's kitchen trained. And she had us girls in there with her. And I'm 60 plus, so I guess her food did good, huh? Okay. Now, while I'm letting that brown a little bit more, I'm taking my cornbread mixture and I'm taking my glass casserole pan. There it is. And I'm going to line the bottom of it with some of my mixture, okay? Set it aside. And I'm going to put some in my muffin pans, okay? Now I'm using the muffin pan and the glass baking container because I don't have a large one enough for all the mixture, so that's why I'm doing this. But you can put it all in one pan if you like. See that? Then in the glass dish, I'm going to take some Idaho or gratin sliced potatoes, okay? You can use fresh potatoes with this, okay? I just did not have any, but I had this from the food bank, okay? Put the rest over there. Okay? Okay. Look at that. Look at that goodness. Now this is brown enough. Okay? Now I take it, turn my oven, my stove off, and I drain it. I'm draining over here, guys. And there it is back. I tasted it and it's good. Then my secret ingredients is a small can of clam chowder soup. Now, you can get any brand that you want. As I said several times in the video already, I am using what the food bank gave me, and they gave me Campbell's this time. And I pour that, and I scrape the mixture. Okay? Then I take a can of tomatoes and I put them in there. Okay? Any brand. Now I use the clam chowder, and I use that because it takes the place of sour cream. Okay? Let that simmer just a little bit together. And I'm going to line my dishes, okay? Now, As you know, with the au gratin potatoes, you get a cheese pack. What you do is you just mix it in with your other ingredients, and voila. Oops, I'm a little bit messy. Should have got a larger pan, but I didn't. And we're already into it, so we're gonna let it do it, okay? Look at all that goodness. Okay? And now, you just simply line your baking pan on top of your cornbread Jiffy muffin mix, au gratin potatoes. Now you add in the meat mixture. Okay. And I purchased this, but it's great value, sharp cheddar cheese. And I just take it and I just place it on my mixture. Cover it a little bit on my mixture. You can add as much cheese as you want. I'm very thrifty. Some people may call it cheap. And then you add your other cornbread mixture on top here. Okay. And looks so delicious. Look at that. And you place it in the oven on the bottom rack. Look at that. It's in the oven on the bottom rack, and you close and you bake for about 30 minutes. Okay? Now, let's get back to the muffins here. I take some of the mixture and I put it in my muffins. Okay. They're delicious. I hope you're seeing this. And of course, I try to clean it up the best that I can. And I add the rest of my cornbread mixture on top. See that? Those are heavenly. And then I take a little, oh, I'm so sorry with this camera. I always do that. And I bake those in the oven. But before I do, I add just a little cheese on each one of them. Turns out heavenly. This is Food Bank Deliciousness. Okay? And I take that and I put them on the top. Okay? Now sometimes they overflow. And I have to clean my oven. But I wipe it down once it gets cool. But I hope you all were able to get what I was doing with this video. And look at me, all the sweat, but it's worth it. That is my supper dinner for this evening. I hope you all can smell it. I hope you all were here to have a bite. But thank you all for coming. I ask you to please come back, and I'll be back to show you the final reveal, okay? I love you so much. Thank you again. Come back now. Bye.